What is something most people need to hear but no one has the guts to tell people? Nobody cares about that small thing you're afraid they'll notice. They are too obsessed with their own small things they are afraid you will notice. Sorry, but I have to go, or sorry, I can't talk right now. I hate when I'm out with my family and a customer from work spots me and wants to talk about work related stuff. I'm slowly learning to say sorry for keeping you, turn it around on them, and they'll have no idea what to do. Works every time. I take everything so personally, and it's been so bad I've had to leave positions out of perceived hatred by my coworkers. How do you disconnect and accept that some people dislike you and still see them all day every day? Definitely depends on the work environment, but I'd say find yourself one buddy and take pride in your work and just kind of get lost in it for however many hours you work. But all you really need is one good work buddy who cares if everyone else stinks. There is only one occasion it's okay to interrupt someone, and that's when that someone is a conversation dominator who literally will not stop the flow of words from their mouth to let anyone else participate, especially when in a group setting. I have a friend who does this, and if we don't interrupt her then it becomes a never-ending reel of just her voice all night, and she expects everyone to listen. Yeah, no thanks. I'ma cut you off right there and see how everyone else is doing. One time when I hired someone to do a project for me, halfway through they told me that they are very stressed because some of the things I asked for just aren't possible. I was surprised because from my point of view this issue came up suddenly and I liked what they did so far. I responded by telling them I hired you because I don't know how to do this myself. This also means I don't know what's possible and what isn't. I need you to tell me if what I want is realistic. In a sense, I'm literally paying you to sometimes say no to me. The project progressed much more smoothly after this exchange and was a complete success. Saying no isn't an insult, it's a service. One of the best suppliers of my company is one of the most pessimistic people I know. He does the opposite of what you're supposed to do as a salesman. That's going to be difficult. The schedule says we can't make that, but we'll do our best. 90% of the time, they meet the schedule and have fantastic product to go with it. The other 10% of the time, they communicate delays ahead of time, usually, and I've already prepared my expectations that they might not be able to make it. If I had another supplier that got everything done in the same time frame, but repeatedly missed their yes man deadlines along the way, I would be a very unhappy customer. Agreed. We learned from a young age in my house that it's okay to say no, you don't need to justify it, and it's okay for someone to tell you no. Now, I find it frustrating when people make random excuses. Just tell me no, I don't really want to FFS. So I was on vacation with my wife and both our sets of parents last year. My mother-in-law, Mill, asked my mom if she wanted to go jewelry shopping with her and my wife. My mom just said, no, thanks, and walked away. Edit, continued walking, didn't just walk away mid-conversation. My Mill looked super offended and was like, well, okay then, all huffy. It wasn't until my mom realized, and later said she didn't intend to be rude, that my Mill stopped acting weird. Learned a lot about my wife's behavior that trip, based on how her mom acts. You can get good at something just by doing it over and over for a year or two without much thinking. But when you want to get really good is when you need to start thinking. Too often people want to get real good at something from ground zero, and they can't weather through the mundane things that you just naturally overcome with a year's worth of experience. My best bud's wife is like this every time they come over. She's a lovely woman, but you have to be prepared for a half an hour catch up on all her Instagram videos and Facebook saved videos. It's torture. They are never funny. Literally, no one cares about this random baby falling over and crying, Susan. I tell my sister I didn't want to hang out with you to look at a bunch of random shit on your phone. Like we have a group text with me and her and our mutual friends where we send random shit to each other all the time, and I like perusing that at my leisure, but I hate being sat down and told to look at this for 20 fucking minutes. I'll be like, you get 2 minutes. Otherwise I actually want to enjoy your company. It takes the sting off of being incredibly blunt when you tell them you legitimately want to spend time with them and not their phone. You have to be self-aware about when you do this shit too though. I don't show people pics/videos, but I'm super into hockey and most of my friends vaguely pay attention because they know I love it, but they don't care that much. So I say, alright, something cool happened at the game yesterday, just listen to me for 2 minutes and then I'll shut up about it. They indulge me briefly. My sister-in-law has a 2.5-year-old that can't fucking express his need for food because she won't talk to him and just throws shit at him when he screams. She says he knows a handful of words, but I have not a single time heard him say even on the last interaction I had with him was me taking a dog toy away from him, hard plastic teething type toy, because he couldn't stop throwing it around the house. A child that age should at least say the words, yes, no, mom, dad, and please, right? I can't stand her. I had a project teammate in college suggest I chew some gum before an interview I had after our meeting. She was so worried she would offend me, but I was battling a sinus infection at the time and really appreciated the heads up that it was impacting my breath. I know I once saw a meme or something where the person said, how do you tell someone they have smelly breath? And the answer was challenge them to a mouthwash drinking contest. I'm a middle school teacher. Man, a 7th grader will tell you that shit to your fucking face and not even bat an eye, and then all his friends will laugh at you. Like, they can straight up bully you when they're 30 years younger than you. One of my colleagues is like this. I have to work with her quite a bit. Every time she comes to my office, I have to air it out after. I don't know what death smells like, but I'm going to assume it's something like her breath. I don't understand how she doesn't notice it. I was pregnant and had hyperemesis, morning sickness all day, every day, right up to the end, and my one work friend came to talk to me real close and had stale coffee breath. I apologized for asking, but he was really bad that day, and would she please take a Tic Tac, and offered her a box. She got so mad because she hadn't even had coffee that day. About a year and a half later, she was pregnant and would bitch about people's stinky breath. I reminded her of the time she flipped on me for offering her a mint, and she justified it by saying she hadn't been pregnant before, so she didn't know just how sensitive you could be to smells. No apology. I shouldn't have asked because she had no reference. Sort of true, but what our culture often calls love is a terrible basis for a long-term relationship. There are moments you might hate your spouse. There are times you'll want to run. If it lasts, and lasts after years of honest communication and attempts to fix stuff, that's one thing. If you think you're always going to feel a strong and clear physical and emotional attraction to someone, well, you're not. Love is a commitment to action, not a feeling. Yes, love is not an emotion. It is a commitment. There is no catch-all solution to relationships. Everyone's situation is different and people are all different, but people shouldn't bring love down to the same level as emotion. Dentist student here. Bad breath can have a multitudes of factors like dry mouth, necrotic tissue, tonsil stones, poor hygiene or gut problems. Of all cases of bad breath in Brazil, only about 5% are caused by gut problems. So to properly get rid of the smell you need to have a correct diagnosis. If you clean your teeth, gums and tongue properly but still have bad breath, you may have an anomaly in your mouth. So visit a dentist. You can have cancer or a pre-cancer anomaly and not even know. Also keep in mind some base breath can come from your nasal cavity. Licking spoon and smelling it is not a diagnosis also. Your body gets used to the smell. At the firehouse, dudes are absolutely brutally honest. Some of them have absolutely zero feelings of discomfort when confronting a dude that needs to change his shit up. From being a shitty firefighter to needing to close your mouth when you're chewing food. When it happens, and I'm present to see it go down, it makes me want to melt into the chair or just get up and run out of the building. But it's usually so goddamn effective. Dudes straighten out the issue most of the time. People need to hear about their shittiness in specifics. I'm glad there are guys out there that aren't afraid to do it. Well, I have the guts, and I do it, but it's my most hated part of my career. Relevant information. I'm a college professor and I teach organic chemistry. Here's the thing, not everyone can be a doctor, pharmacist, veterinarian, or dentist. Not everyone has the aptitude. You'll find out one way or another when taking organic chemistry. I have to tell students on the regular, listen, You're in this class for the 3rd time, you're failing it again, and no medical school will look at you because of it. You need a new plan. Some take it well. Some were wishing someone had the conversation with them a year ago. Some get angry. Either way, it sucks. It seems there are few colleagues of mine who are willing to make that statement. The reason you can't get laid is because you are bad at dating. You will never get better unless you try. Take a shower, work out and try. First you will be weird. Then you will go out, but be too scared to make a move. Then you will be bad at kissing. Then you will be bad at fucking. After failing 10, 20 times, you will succeed. But then you will suck at relationships, because you will be too clingy, or you will have poor choices in women. After enough relationships, you will know how to pick the right partner and you will know how to respect your relationship. It will never get better unless you try. Don't be discouraged, and learn from your mistakes. It's a scary journey, but one you will be proud of when it's all said and done. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.